Welcome to the Triple B podcast. We are the Buds Busting Balls. My name is Matt Worsham, celiac_Matt on Twitch, and I am perfect in every way. There are no flaws whatsoever. Don't believe what anyone else says for you. Also with us is Mike Bowerman, known as Bauer Tendo on all the things, who has a face that proves God has a sense of humor. And with us, we have Scott Stevens. I had a different insult planned for him, but he shaved his beard. And the first thought I had when I saw his face is he looks like he secretly is the front man to a ska band. Is that an insult? I don't know. That's what it made me think about. Today, I compiled a list of a bunch of stupid questions. We're going to ask a bunch of stupid questions of Mike and Scott. They don't know what they are. I do. We're going to have some fun with it. We are the Buds Busting Balls. Cue the music. All right, my friends. As I mentioned earlier, we don't really have a set topic. I sent a message to Scott and Mike here one day. I'm like, hey, what do you think if I just ask a bunch of stupid questions that I put together and found on the internet? And they were just like, sure, why not? They're excited. My cat's walking across camera. He's excited. I'm going to deposit him on my lap because that's what I'm going to do so he stops hurting everything and touching my microphone. So I have this list of questions that I'm going to ask. You guys have no idea what they are. I'm very excited to get into that. But before we do, we have to ask our tried and true questions. Scott, what are you playing and what are you drinking?
As far as playing, nothing interesting at all. Scott's had a very busy previous week, so not much quality game time. Trying to get in a little Diablo 4 while I can. A new season of Fortnite's about ready to start, so I'm excited about that. I haven't played that game in a couple weeks, so we'll jump into that one as well. But the more important thing is what I'm drinking. Every week, Target has a new kombucha on sale, and I mosey on in there and go and see what is on sale. Today, we have the delicious, refreshing Olipop. And I have to be honest, a lot of the kombuchas at Target are ass. Olipop is one of the better ones, though. So there you go. We got Olipop lemon lime.
Refreshing.
I've never heard of that flavor. What I am drinking is actually no. We're gonna start with gaming. What I am gaming, I just started Resident Evil 4, the new one. Just started it on stream yesterday prior to this recording, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. And also, I finally hit infinite rank in Marvel Snap the other day. I've been trying to do that since I started playing, and I did it, and I feel like the biggest gamer in the world. It's a feat that I'm quite proud of. So RE4, Marvel Snap, and what I'm drinking is a freaking glass of orange juice, everybody. Slug.
Orange juice? Orange juice is great. Nothing wrong with that.
Look at all that juice. Ooh.
Oh Mike, what about you? What are you playing? What are you drinking?
Also, I want to point out your Marvel Snap thing. If Wing is listening or watching this, Wing's probably shaking their head like, you just got to infinite.
Yeah. I like how you don't I like how you don't care at all about achievements. Like getting infinite rank. Oh, that's the big thing you're gonna be proud of.
Yeah, because that's
way to be selective on your gamer achievements.
Listen,
there.
Trophies and achievements aren't fun. Beating other people on the internet is.
You can get achievements from beating. You can get achievements and trophies from beating other people on the internet.
If it's fun, I'll do it. If it's fun, I'll do it. If it's not fun, I won't do it.
So see, you're changing your tune. Before it was like no trophies, no achievements, and now you're adding the asterisk of like, well, if it's fun.
I've said that this whole time.
Do you see this right here? This
is your hand.
This is what you're doing.
Okay.
You're moving the goalpost.
Is that what moving a goalpost physically looks like? Is this how you pick up a physical goalpost and just kind of move it?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, that's because I don't do sports, apparently.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, now I know. Mike, what are you gaming? What are you drinking?
I'm kind of like Scott. This last week was a little bit crazy. Had family in, doing a whole bunch of stuff, had a whole bunch of family things. But same stuff. So Mario Wonder, Spidey 2. Spidey 2 has taken a little... It's been okay. And I have yet to see why everybody is raving about this game. I'm having a good time, but not like, wow. I think I'm about to turn the page on that finally. So anyway, that's nice. And I am drinking a Polar. Or just a good old-fashioned shoe. Nothing fancy.
All right. He is drinking out of a shoe. For those that only listen to this, he literally is drinking out of a shoe right now. You can confirm that on YouTube. I hope it tastes like your moldy feet. Maybe
Ah, my
that's where
feet,
the flavor comes from.
my feet are
Why would
moldy. Yes.
wait? Why would your foot be moldy?
you
All right, wait, are you guys' feet not moldy?
you want
Do
a
I
don't know.
do I need to go to the doctors?
do you want a fun story about
Yes.
how I almost lost my leg?
Yes.
So, no joke, when I was young, I don't remember how it happened. I was a kid. I didn't really pay attention to things. And something happened where like my feet got super wet. I didn't really take care of them. Something was going on. And I think it was my mom not taking care of me. I have no idea. So, long story short, I got gangrene on my right foot, like in
Yeah.
between the toes and stuff.
Oh,
And I'm a
God.
kid, so I don't know. So I just am, trooping through it. And one day my dad's like, "Hey, why are you limping?" I'm like, and I got all nervous, like, "Oh no!" He's like, "Take off your shoe." And I took off my shoe, and he saw it, and he immediately took me to the doctor. And they said that if it had been like five to 7 more days, if I had not taken it in, they would have had to amputate from my knee down. So
Wow.
yeah, so I then was out of school for a full week, soaking the hell out of my foot. But all that to say, and my wife can verify this, when I wash every toenail, in between every toe, the bottom of my feet, the top of my. I learned my lesson because I went, whoa, I was almost one-legged Mike.
My question is now, anyone that listens to this, Scott, myself included, next time you shower, are we gonna take a little extra peek at our feet? I think I might this time. I'm gonna take a little extra look down at my toes. My 6-foot body is gonna look down and actually look at those toesies.
Make sure
Maybe
there's no gangrene.
make sure there's no green up in there. Stupendous, gross story. Hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna ask a bunch of questions. Are you guys ready for stupid questions that I found on the internet and put together myself?
I don't know if I'm ready, but we're
I
gonna do
am
it.
so excited, and let me preface this. I enjoy the viewer questions that you guys submit so much. I'm like, I'm gonna find a bunch of questions. I'm gonna put a bunch of questions together. So what I want you guys to do is listen to them, not know what these questions are, and I want you to realize that you can also submit questions to us below the links of all of our things. You should be able to find directions on how to submit questions to any individual or all three of us if you'd like. So we're gonna start with some dumb questions. Question number one: who would win in a fight between the three of us? Scott, you go
I'll let
first.
you guys
All
answer
right.
first.
So here's the thing. I'll be the first to say that I am not the most physically intimidating person. I'm not the strongest. I'm not the fastest, but I am the dirtiest. I have pocket sand, as last week proved. I will go for the low blows. I will rake the eyes. I am like the definitive hill scumbag fighter. So I'm going to have to give it to me because, Mike, I don't think you're going to go in down to the depths that I will go to pull off the win. Same thing for you, Matt. You're not dirty enough. I am the dirtiest player in the game. Woo!
I like Scott's confidence. It's not like yeah, I'll beat everybody. He's like, no, I will beat everyone by any means necessary. That is a Scott approach.
It's
Stupendous.
not even a pride. I'm not even proud about it.
No, he's just like,
And I'm
no,
not going to
straight up.
brag. I'm not going to brag that I beat you guys, but I will win. I will do whatever dirty deed needs to be done.
I love that answer, and I can't say confidence. That's his answer. What do you have, Mike? Who would win in a fight between the three of us?
See, here's where I think that I would.
Yeah.
Scott doesn't think I'd go that low.
Oh,
He don't know me. See,
secret heel.
there are a lot of things I don't go that low on. My dad taught me. My dad was a dirty fighter, and I watched him do it. I watched him, and I learned. And I ain't gonna tell you what I would do.
All right, guys. Like, if you ever get to see us, me and Mike fight, it's just be like an hour of us trying to kick each other in the crotch, and like
you might want to stand back.
There might be some fluids, apparently, is what I'm hearing. My answer to this, by the way, was not me. Like, if I
definitely not you.
No,
you are frail.
Me. I am.
You are frail, man.
My stomach doesn't work. I have so many physical things wrong with me.
Okay,
but Matt, you've got the length, dude.
Listen,
like you
okay,
can just
all we have
stand
to
away and
do-
be like,
that's true. I could outrun you probably.
just get a loaf of bread. All we have to do is wear bread armor, like bread boxing gloves, a bread helmet. And it's like, what are you gonna do now, Matt? Can't touch me. And he's just gonna be, there you go, like instant kryptonite right there.
Someone asked me the question, like, because he has a peanut allergy. He's like, Matt, if I made armor out of bread and you made armor out of peanuts, who do you think would win? I'm like, me. Mine makes me constipated and cause some long-term slow damage. Yours, you need a shot or you die. I
Can't
think I would
breathe.
win this fight. I'll just punch you with some peanuts, and that's how I'll fight
Dude,
dirty.
like peanut brittle. Just do like some peanut brittle shanks and like I think
Yeah,
the
he's
peanut
That
guy
sounds
is like
awful. Peanut brittle. Oh, peanut brittle shanks. That sounds awful.
That's gonna be we're gonna make the Buds Busting Balls peanut brittle. That's the
yeah.
name. The peanut
It'll be like the
brittle
new
shakes.
We need to get
it'll
big.
be
We
like
need
the
a new
new
goal.
Mr. Beast bar.
We need a new
New Mr.
goal
Beast
so we can
bar
get
right
to
there.
that point and start making buds busting balls brittle. Brittle
Oh
buds
my
busting
gosh.
balls.
Oh my gosh.
Brittle
That's
balls.
so much. That's
Brittle
so.
balls.
There's so many bees. I love it. Anywho, my answer was I was thinking Mike would be the one to take this. I think he's got the build just to be like, you can't do anything. And I'll just be like, I'm just gonna run away, is what I'm gonna do. All right, next question. Do you think cats understand humans more than dogs do?
Yes.
Yeah, no
100%.
question. No
That's an
question.
easy one. Moving
No.
on. Next
I
question.
mean, there's a reason. There's a reason that the Egyptians like worship them as gods. It's because
Yeah.
the cats
Okay.
figured it out and like hypnotized them or something. Like you basically manipulated them.
All right, Scott rant time. Sorry, everybody. Cats, I love them, but they're sadistic, manipulative little pieces of shit. They are. Meowing is not a natural cat behavior. If you go into the wild and observe cats, they will never meow amongst each other. They only do it to humans because, like, to manipulate us because they know, a cat crying, they don't do that in the wild. They do that to humans to mimic the sound of baby crying. And because they observed, like, all right, humans, they do, if one of the stupid, small, ugly, wrinkly humans starts crying, it'll start taking care of it. So let's us cry, and then they'll take care of us. Like, cats have us a lot more figured out than I think anybody realizes. We
I-
clean their crap for them in their litter box. Like, we're just puppets on their little strings right there.
I can't tell if you're just pulling that out of your ass or not.
He's not.
I legitimately
not.
I've heard
can't.
this story before.
No way.
Yeah.
And no, seriously, cats learn if they mimic the sound of basically like small children, they get more response and action. Dogs can sometimes pick this up too. I like that Scott said, "Move on, question over," and he's like, "Well, hang on."
No, now you have something to say.
I got more stuff to say. Next question: what sound would be the scariest if you could hear it? So something that doesn't have a sound but suddenly does. What do you think would be the scariest sound?
Wait.
I'll
Yeah,
paint a picture
yeah.
here. I'll paint a picture here. Something that doesn't have a sound that you can suddenly hear. What would be the scariest? For me, I think it would be, to get a little dark, depression. Like if depression had a sound, you'd just be like, ooh, like you would kind of feel kind of scared from that. So just think about that. Is something? It can be an emotion, a feeling, anything. Like you could look at a tree. I don't know. What sound do you think would be like the creepiest or scariest if it suddenly had a noise and it previously didn't?
I feel like light. Because
Oh, like
we
it
already
turns
we already
on?
kind of
Yeah.
like electricity. Well, no,
You
that's
hear
a bit
electricity,
different. But
but
like light, I feel like it would be so overwhelming that it would be like, please, like it would overload you. Like, please stop it, please. Like high pitched, always like that hum, never going away. I feel like light would be awful. And maybe there's
All
some
right.
scientists watching us that's like, light does have a sound, and it's this, and I'm like,
actually,
yeah, exactly.
Dogs can hear light. You heard it here first,
Dog,
folks. Anyhow,
okay.
I think this is a little bit abstract, but I think the sound of dying, not like, car crash or anything like that, but just like if somebody's just, dying in bed, and just slowly their life is just like that type of sound. Like I just imagine like a really sad, like violin, and it just gets lower and slower as they're closer to dying. I don't know. I think that would be really creepy and unsettling. The sound of
think-
someone's death, of life leaving their body.
I think that is a great answer. And I just thought up another question based on that. So all those creepy things we sort of thought about, what if there were funny noises? Like someone dies, and it's just like a tuba going brr, brr, brr.
Okay.
They just die.
I have to bring this up because you brought this up. I know you guys don't watch it. You don't have to watch all of it. But there is an episode. I think it won awards. It was that good. There's an episodes of the cartoon show Teen Titans Go. Okay, we started watching it because our kids, and we're like, wow, this is actually enjoyable. We like this. There is an episode called, and the award for audio goes to, that's literally the name of the episode, and the Titans wipe out all sound in existence. So like everything is quiet. and the only way to get the sound back is they have to repopulate it with sounds. And so, like, you see, like, a dolphin get up, and instead of, doing the dolphin sound, it's Cyborg going, booyah, booyah, booyah. So you see this dolphin going, booyah, booyah, booyah. And then, like, you hear it, like, when somebody farts, it's a turkey sound. So that you go, they hear, like, what was that? They go, ah! It is wonderful. Watch it. It's great. So anyway, you just reminded me of that. Really funny stuff.
That is stupendous, and I like it. If you had to lose your hands or your feet, which one would you choose?
Feet.
No question.
No question.
I figured that was gonna be quick. We still got to play our games. If you could put, here's a really weird one. If you could put one condiment inside your belly button, what would it be and why? Super weird.
Ketchup.
I saw this one I just found online. I'm like, all right, that's a crazy one. I'm asking. So you would put ketchup in your belly button. Why?
So I thought mustard at first because there's literally nothing in mustard. But then I thought, I feel like the salt, like the vinegar, whatever's in there, like it would kind of be like, ew, like stingy. You're like, nah, no. Mayonnaise is like a hard no. That's like, that was an instant no, right? And things like relish and sriracha and stuff like that.
Too chunky.
Yeah. So then I was like, immediately like, you know what? Ketchup is like sweet. It can be, it depends on what kind of ketchup. Are you getting the runny? Are you putting the runny stuff in that comes out before the rest of it?
It's the pre-ketchup.
Or did you do the shake up and then you put it in, right? Or even better, are you getting that Heinz glass ketchup that you shook up and then you pour it out, right? Where it's like nice. And thick.
I like that there's an even better, like there is a really better option for what goes in my belly button as far as condiments go. Scott, what do you got?
I know what I wouldn't pick, like Mike, like mustard or mayonnaise. That just sound. I don't know why. Just like mayonnaise in my belly button, it just makes me nasty. My answer though, and as weird as it sounds, and I can't even explain why, I would go sauerkraut. Sauerkraut in the belly button. I don't know why.
It's that German heritage you got.
I guess so. Like,
the blood has showed up. Boy, you will choose. You will choose.
Is that considered a condiment?
What would you consider?
I guess it is. You put it on dogs.
If you consider relish a condiment, why not sauerkraut?
You're right.
I'll allow it. I don't know if you
don't doubt the crowd. Don't doubt the crowd.
I don't know if you'd call it honey a condiment, but that one's already kind of tried and true.
No, not honey.
You would put honey in there? What if it like heart? Oh,
I mean, I'm not going to leave it so it gets gangrene, young Mike.
Low blow.
Actually, that was more like a mid blow.
It was a mid blow. It was mid drift blow. We got you. I see what you were putting down. Who actually tests the specific dog food when they say it has a new and improved flavor? Do you think they have a dog and like, he seems happy. He liked this new flavor. Or do you think there's some dude that's just like, I'm a professional dog food eater?
I think it's a dog. I think it's a dog, and I think they're probably way more scientific about it than you think they would be. Like, they measured it. Like, how much is he wagging? All right, I measured 1.5 feet. You only wagged it for a foot for this one. Doesn't like that as much. I think it's just like, very scientific. Overanalyze a dog.
Do you want my actual answer, or do you want what I would like to be?
I want to know what you would like to be the answer at this point.
I would like the answer to be a really, really depressed dog, which is already depressing just saying that.
Dog's sad.
Really sad Eeyore dog, okay? And they just go through these things that, each food, like, give it to the dog's like, no, okay, not that one. Do the next one. And then all of a sudden they hit that one where they go, and you just see everything lift up. And then it's like happy dog, right? That's what I imagine. So that's what I want to believe.
A series of dogs, they're about ready to be put down, and this is like their last meal, and just like, hey, he likes that. All right, bye, Fido.
I like that this was supposed to be fun, and now we're talking about dying dogs. We're having a great time. I was just picturing a dog on company payroll. Like, I'm picturing some random guy processing payroll for the dog. Like, this dog makes more money than I do because he's
dog's like wearing his business suit.
He's got like a tie. He has exact ideas of what he's doing. This is a great question to ask now that we know the gangrene story. What's the first thing you wash in the shower? Mike, what is the first thing you wash in the shower?
Any guesses?
Is it the toes? Please tell me it's the toes.
It is. Well, actually, believe it or not, it is not the toes. Because I start top of the head because I do everything here so that if anything runs down, it's already running down anyway. Because if I did the bottom, did the bottom and then went up, and then I'd have to be like, oh, I gotta go back down again, right? Because it's like the water's running down. So I start here, go down, and that way I can end really strong on the feet.
Okay. So he's got all that residual mite goop, but combined with the soap, so he can really hammer it in on those gangrene toes of his. Scott, where do you start?
Actually, the same exact way as Mike. I'm very OCD about my shower routine. I have done it the same order and probably the same amount of time for like 15 years now. I start the head, one reason because of what Mike said, because again, if you start on your feet and work your way up, you're not game for that area. But another reason, and this may be kind of weird, but I do it for a good reason. I try to brush my teeth and soap up my head at the same time to save time and water.
Are you brushing your teeth in the shower?
Yeah, I'm like lathering up my face while I'm brushing my teeth, and I usually by the time I work my way to like my chest, spit out the toothpaste, continue on, and it's done. Don't have to take another couple 3 minutes to brush my teeth.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the practicality of that. But did somebody hurt you with pat your head and rub your belly when you were younger? Like doing this and then rubbing your belly, so you're like, yeah.
I need to know if ever your head lather has ever made its way into your mouth lather.
Oh, all the time. I mean, all the time.
It doesn't stop him. What?
Scott's like,
and dude, okay, so there's been times where I brush my teeth. Like if I'm at a hotel or it's something that gets me out of my routine, I'll just brush my teeth at the sink like a normal person. But because I'm used to doing it in the shower and just whatever, if I'm doing it at the sink, toothbrush suds are everywhere. You just got toothpaste all over the mirror, all over the counter because when I'm in the shower, I don't have to be careful. They just go everywhere. But I make a horrible, horrible mess at the sink. I'm sorry. All day in.
I need to know if anyone listening to this, does anyone else brush their teeth while taking a shower, or is this a Scott exclusive?
All of my family does it. Chelsea, the kids, but actually, I prefer it when the kids do in the shower, because if they don't, if they're at the sink, they're exactly like Scott, where I don't know how they do it. They're flinging it all over the windows and the mirrors and stuff, and I'm like, how did you get it on the ceiling? Well, I gotta clean that up now. So yes, they all do it in the shower, but they don't do it while they kind of brush, set that aside, and then wash. So it's still separate, but it's in the shower because they're already in there.
The weird one. All right. For me, I was just gonna say whatever is the most stankiest at that moment. Usually it's my armpits. I don't sweat. I just don't. That's a weird thing, except in my armpits.
You have to work hard. You have to work hard to sweat.
Even when I was doing wrestling in high school, running nonstop, I only ever sweated my pits. And the coach why aren't you sweating? I'm like, I don't know.
Wait,
I don't sweat.
You wrestled in high school?
I did a year of wrestling in high school. We don't need to talk about it, but I did do a year.
I wrestled too, and I would have hated going against you. I would have absolutely. You have the length. I would have hated that, man.
I was I was bad at it, but I was very awkward, and they didn't like it for many things. Anywho, usually starting with the pits. I'm going to skip some questions, and we might come back based on time, but I'm definitely going to want to hit the big important ones to me, and this is very important. What was the last thing that caused you to puke? I'll go. I was taking some form of medication for something 2-3 years ago. I don't even remember what it was for. Probably something with the nerve issues I have with my legs. And it's one of those medicines that says might cause some nausea and vomiting. It caused some nausea and vomiting. I would take it. I would start working. Then I'd spend 30 minutes just just into a grocery bag so I could just throw it away. So that was it. Medicine got me. What was the last time? What's the last thing that got you to throw up?
The thing I'll start for you.
There you go. I'll start this one off. I actually vomited last time, this past Thursday and Friday, because I was sick. But here's the thing. It wasn't whatever I had that made me vomit. It was me thinking on Thursday, I'm like, oh yeah, I feel really sick. But it'll probably make me feel better. Going to the bar and drinking a bunch of cocktails. And then, that night, bleh. So next day, I'm like, all right, last night was a little rough. I'm over it. I feel a lot better now. I think I'm over this sickness thing. So for dinner, I had 3 protein style burgers from In-N-Out or something ridiculous. And then, that night, bleh, it's all right, still sick. Don't eat a lot of food yet. So that's me. No shame.
I think mine was boring, man. I think I was just like I had the flu or I ate something bad, and it was just like, see, I don't think anybody likes throwing up, or maybe there are some people out there, and if you are there, let us know in the comments. But I like loathe puking, like loathe it. And luckily, I've been gifted with a pretty strong stomach, so I don't do it often. I think the last time I did, I ate something bad. I think it was like I ate something bad. I think I had food poisoning, and it was awful. I remember I did throw up regular once, and then every other time after it, it was dry heaves, which are awful. It's just like
Yeah.
everything hurts. You're like, stop, please, stop it.
It's like the unshaken ketchup squeeze of vomit. You get that little preview, but
Yes,
not the good
but
stuff.
nothing else. Everything else is
Wait,
in the back still.
how long ago was this?
I couldn't tell you, dude.
Okay, so it's been a while. Mike has not
It's been
puked.
a while, yeah.
Mike has not puked in a while. So Scott, you're the most recent puker. I hope that's a title that you cherish and take forever. Next question: first online screen name, and I'll start. When emails became a thing, my parents got us all Earthlink accounts. So like, what do you want your username to be? And at the time, I bought this tiny little Lego set. I don't even know what the style of it is, but it was sort of robot Lego things, like not like it was like pre-Bionicle type stuff. And there was my cat's fighting in the background. There was a Lego called like Nuju, Nuju. So I'm like, I like that. My email is Nuju89. It was stupid. That was my first username. What about you guys?
Well, okay. Scott, I'll let you go, and then I'll give you guys the option of which one you want to hear from me.
Okay, so I'm actually going to say my first two because my first one doesn't have that interesting of a story. It was the same thing as Matt. My dad was making an AOL account for me, and he's like, Scott, what do you want your username to be? And I start to speak. Your name is Cal Scotty because, my nickname is Scotty, and I live in California. So Cal Scotty, and I actually still use that for some stuff. But my second one, and the first one I actually picked, fast forward to the AIM days, America Online Instant Messaging, and my username was The Fire Still Burns. But the problem was somebody already took the username The Fire Still Burns. So I spelt fire as FIR, and that's it. And the number of people who would message me saying like, why does your fur burn? I'm like, it's fire, but it's spelled FIR because somebody took fire, FIRE. Like there was awkward, like middle school, early high school, like girls I was trying to like flirt with on IM. And then they would just like, oh, you're pretty funny, but you have a weird username. Why does your fur burn? I was like, well, this one's dead. But anyway, yes.
I remember that one. I remember seeing that one.
The question is,
fur still burns.
The question is all those people that were asking you about that, were they referring to fur like, like on a body, or what FIR actually spells is the tree, a fir tree?
They were like talking about like fur. It's like, are you really hairy or something? Like, yeah.
Yeah, so so you know what? Turn it around on them. You guys are stupid. That's the wrong fur. The fur does still burn.
Mike, what do you got?
Mine was pretty dumb too. My original name, so I'll do my second one, which is a lot more infamous. And I'll wait to get to that one till Matt gets back, because I know Matt will get a kick out of it. My first one was Mikey256.
Classic.
I mean, and it was because literally everybody called me Mikey, and our PO box at the time was 256. So I went, fine, Mikey256, and that's how much effort I put into it. Very smart, very smart. But the real one that I go with, you guys know this one very well. Tell me a tale.
Yes.
Tales Teller. It was Tales Teller 256. And now you know where the 256 comes from. So yeah, Tales Teller 256. And kind of so back in the early days of the Xbox 360 and playing online and this whole new thing becoming a thing, right? So it was Tales Teller 256. I have no idea why I did that. I think I did it because of the game Tales of Symphonia. Anyway, Tales Teller 256, I'm playing Forza 2 or 3 or something online, and I was racing against one other guy. And the entire time. So I had the headphones in. I wasn't saying anything. I was muted. The entire time, this guy in the stupidest voice was going, "Hey, hey, Tails Teller, tell me a tale, tell me a tale, Tails Teller, Tails Teller, tell me a tale." Over and so the race was like 5 minutes long. 5 minutes, he's going, "Tails Teller, tell me a tale, tell me," and it just kept going through these ebbs and flows. And finally, at the end, I was like, I ended it, and I was like, "Nah, I'm done." I just quit the game, and I don't think I ever played that one like afterwards. I think that was like the nail in the coffin. I just moved on to the next game when it came out.
I remember you telling us that story. We were playing TF2, and the moment you did, like
Everybody, that was a mistake.
Everybody's like, "Well, guess that's what we're doing to you now, Tails Teller."
Yep,
My
similar
favorite
to get your head in the game. The rando also started doing that too because you guys prompted him to.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
All right. If money and ethics weren't an issue, what scientific experiment would you run if you became a mad scientist? Mine's going to be a little lame, but I want to sequester a section of land and truly see if we can finally determine if socialism works. Just so we don't have to hear people say that comment anymore. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. What do you guys got?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
You know what's really weird? As soon as you said this, I had an exact thing because I actually came up with this when I was 12 years old. I kid you not, at school, I went to the smartest guy at school and I went to him and I was like, "Hey, so what keeps all our molecules together is like magnetism, right?" "Yeah, right." Because he's like talking to the dumb kid and it's like, "Well, good job, you know that." And it's like, and it's possible if you go and reverse the magnetism of something, like with a powerful electromagnet, it will go and lose its magnetism, right? "Yeah, right." So in theory, could you make a weapon of mass destruction that's just a massive, powerful, like electromagnet and just vaporize everything? And he just you can see the light in his eyes. It's like, in theory, that would work. And I'm like, and I'm not gonna lie, I've always wondered about that. Like, one, did I come up with a new weapon of like mass destruction? And two, is this kid like somewhere in a lab now, like making this for North Korea or something to like destroy all life on Earth? And I think about the science of it. If you're out there and you're like a very smart, sciencey person, please tell me how it wouldn't work. Because as far as I know, I just came up with the doomsday device right there.
Stupendous. I remember you bringing this up so many years ago, and as a kid, I was just like, I don't know, man. Probably. Mike, what do you got?
Are we talking like realistic or are we talking about like
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care, dude. Just go with it. Whatever you're feeling.
I would work on teleportation. Figure out a way
Yes.
to do I hate traffic. Hate driving around in traffic. I hate
Good thing
people
you live
slowing
in
down.
California.
It's only amplified my just blood fury that wants to just blah. I would do teleportation. I would toss chipmunks in there and be like, "Well, let's see if you go on the other side."
I do have to ask, do you subscribe to the Star Trek theory that teleportation devices are basically like suicide machines? Like what spits out on the air end isn't you. It's basically like a clone of you. Like you die and it completely rips you apart and then you get reassembled, but that's not you anymore. It has the same thoughts, same memory, same appearance, but it's not you anymore. You're dead.
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
I don't know if I believe it, but teleportation doesn't exist, so sure, I would.
But it will. It will. It's in Star Trek. I think we have like 100 years left before we have it.
Well, that's a lot of squirrels that will be dying in the name of science, as administered by Bauer Tendo. This is not really a yes/no question. This is more a discussion. Discuss ramen. Is it just weeb spaghetti?
Yes. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Weeb spaghetti.
Someone shared that in my Discord, and I lost it when I saw that. The answer is yes.
You kind of just blew like that. Just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, I can't respond. Like,
right?
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
It is weeb spaghetti. All right, next question. Has anyone ever caught you posing in a mirror? I will start. The answer is yes, in the worst way possible. All right. So one of my houses with my parents growing up, we had the 2 bathrooms, the one my sister and I used and my parents. And a lot of times when we had to shower at the same time, I just went and used my parents. And they had a big old bedroom. They had mirrors all over the place. I was a young kid that enjoyed wrestling. I was buck naked. I'm like, I'm going to do the Batista pose. So I'm naked doing all this flexing and posing and stuff. And then my dad walked in. And I'm just like in mid like pose, just buck naked. So
Got all the
yes.
veins. You got all the veins going.
Yeah, the veins that young, definitely jacked Matt definitely had. So yes, I've been caught multiple times. That was the most embarrassing. Was mid Batista pose naked by my dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Worsham is a liar. This is my story, and I think he confuses it in his head because I did the same exact thing, except it was the Christopher Masters master pose naked in front of the mirror and dad coming in. Because I refuse to believe there's 2 people out there dumb enough to do wrestling poses naked in front of mirrors. And I definitely did it. So I think Matt's mistaken. I think he's mixing up my story with his.
To make it even better, I left out this last bit here is yes, I did do that. But there was another time that I did that and I started just choking on spit. I just started choking and I started panicking.
I remember this one. I thought you were going to go.
I run out my parents' door like, I'm dying. Like, I can't say anything. I'm flailing around. My mom kind of walk up the stairs. She sees naked young Matt flailing around. She turns around, sends my dad up. My dad runs up, gives me the Heimlich. We're sitting there on his bed. I'm sitting there just stark naked. Like, did I just choke on spit? My dad just like, good. I was like, uh-huh. And he just walked away. He just walked away.
Okay, I definitely did not do that. So maybe this is a Matt original thing.
That one is. I remember you talking about that one. That's a good one.
Yep, that was a Matt OG. How about you guys? Scott has Mike. You've been caught posing in front of a mirror?
Surprisingly, no, I have not. The closest I got to that was actually not me, but it was still very awkward. Was my good friend CN was at the time basically living with us for a very long time, and he came in. We started this prank wars where like we'd get it like. Before the other one woke up, I'd stick Twizzlers up his nose or he'd do something to me, like mess with each other. So one morning I'm laying on my bed and I had a water bed in high school. Yes, a water bed.
Okay.
And I'm asleep. And then, like, have you ever woken up and you're like, something or someone is watching me? Like you get that weird feeling. So like I kind of wake up and I see something and CN had both of his legs on each side of the frame. Pants off, okay, because he couldn't spread with pants on. Pants off, and his butt cheeks, like, right here in front of my face. He's about ready to fart right in my face. And so he didn't know I woke up, and I took my hand, and I put my middle knuckle out, and I went,
oh, no.
Whap! Right on this right cheek, like, right there, and he just goes, ah! And I'm pretty certain I gave him a Charlie horse. So he fell down on top of me, butt naked, while I'm in bed. And my dad opens the door, and he goes, what do you do? And I'm not joking. He just looks at us, and we kind of look at him, and he just closes the door and backs back out. And then I hear him go down the stairs. And I was like, I'm not going to have that conversation with him. And I never did. Never did.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're laughing because of the awkwardness of it. If you like wrestling with your friends naked, no shame in that.
No shame.
Listen, his dad was ahead of his time. It's
progressive, accepting.
Yeah, he was just like, whatever, man. At first I thought you went mining with that punch, but you hit a cheek. I'm like, all right, that's not as funny. But then he fell on you. That is absolutely stupendous. Hey, next question. Is a hot dog a sandwich? This is a great dispute among some of my friends out here.
Yes.
Okay. Scott says yes. I'm of the mindset that a hot dog should exclusively just be referred to as a hot dog. Technically, yes, it fits the definition of sandwich. One of my friends swears up and down, no, it's a taco. I think the hot dog is just a hot dog, but some people are like, it is a sandwich.
No, like if the definition of a sandwich, meat between 2 pieces of bread. A bun is bread, like basically it's bread, and it has meat in the middle. Sandwich. That's all there is to it.
That's the simplistic approach, but no one ever says 1 hot dog sandwich, please. I would like a hot dog. I think a hot dog reserves
technically
its own right.
Can I pose
a hamburger is a sandwich? A hamburger is a sandwich. You never say hamburger sandwich.
I think. Can I say both? I think both.
It's a very open, fun question.
Yeah, because okay, so the traditional hot dog, I think the thing that makes it not a sandwich is that the end is connected. If you unconnected those two buns, well, then you got a sandwich, right? That's actually not what my argument is. So if you got a regular old hot dog, that's a taco. Sorry, that's a bread taco. Okay.
No, you have to have a tortilla for it to be a taco, whether soft or crunchy.
So
It's a very very
Tortilla-
soft. It's a very very soft.
No, it's not a tortilla. It's not a taco.
I think
So-
it's
so
a
it's the
I think it's
tortilla
the
that
way
makes it a
you eat
taco?
too.
I like how you two white guys are telling the half Hispanic guy that his food is I know
Scott,
tacos.
Scott, with your shaved face, you are the whitest out of all of us
I
right
know,
now.
I
I just
know. I
need you to
look-
know that.
I have no credibility anymore with the La Rasta. I don't. You got me there. You know what? Fine. Hot dog
Okay,
is a taco.
You're right. No, a Mexican dish consisting of a fried tortilla. So it
Well,
has
I
to-
disagree with the fried. I disagree with the fried part.
but a
tortilla.
tortilla. So
Yes.
hold on. So what defines a sandwich? I want to see
I
what
love-
this actually says.
I love that this has set people down a little rabbit hole. People are Googling this right now.
But see, okay, so here's the difference. A hot dog is not a sandwich because it says an item of food consisting of specifically two pieces of bread with meat, cheese, and other filling between them, eaten as a light meal.
Well, that's stupid. So if I put a piece of bread on the floor and I ask somebody in China to put a piece of bread on the floor, does that make the world a fucking sandwich? That makes no freaking sense.
If there's meat in between it somewhere along the
Man,
way.
there's meat somewhere between there. I'll tell you that right now. All right. I didn't mean that way. No, it was not meant to be
Yes,
dirty.
he did.
No, your inflection was
because
but dirty.
Yeah,
No,
you
because
stop
you
that.
are
I said
telling
put
me
it on the
you did not-
floor. I
if
put
you're
it
telling me-
on the floor, and then
No.
I'm pointing down.
The way you phrase it,
pointing-
there is no other way to take that with that connotation. That
because
inflection of your voice.
I ooze like machismo.
You're not
and,
helping.
like,
You're not
sexiness.
helping your case here.
I didn't mean it. I'm just that charismatic and that like suave. Like
We're
I
gonna
can't-
we might have to dedicate a future podcast to is the hot dog a sandwich conversation.
Okay, yeah. Moving
I'm
on.
very-
You have
I'm
more
very
questions.
glad-
Pros
I'm
and
very
cons,
glad
make
that
an
I
argument
asked this
for it,
one.
debate.
When you are home by yourself, no one else is home, do you actually walk around like a normal person, or do you sometimes get a little wacky with your steps from point A to point B? I'll be fully transparent. If I'm by myself, I might just start prancing around my house just because. Am I alone? Is that just me?
I don't prance. I don't do weird walks, but I do something weird.
Okay.
I sing everywhere I go, and I sing.
That's not
what I'm
weird.
doing.
So you're just like, I'm walking
not
down the
weird.
hall. I'm eating this hot
Yes,
dog. That's
like-
definitely not a sandwich.
Yes, like we have family songs that we sing all the time, but yes, it is literally like I create my own theme song around the house. Every time it's different, and it's like got to have its ups and downs. There's sad moments of the song, there's happy moments of the song, and I'll go like, oh, now I've got to poop. I really hope it's okay. I don't
do
know.
that-
Yes, it's great.
I
Like,
do
I'm
that
not
when I'm
ju-
driving.
Okay, yeah.
I'll kind of scream. I'll sometimes sing or just scream while I'm driving. Scott, do you ever not walk like a normal person at home?
So I am exactly the same as Mike. I walk normal, but I also do songs, but mine are very specific. I like make up wrestling themes. It's like if I was a really buff British chimney sweeper wrestler, this would be my wrestling theme. And then I just like hum it to myself. And sometimes it happens for days. And it gets to the point where I just have now tunes that I just randomly like hum out. I'm like, I wonder when I made that. What was the context for this song? I don't care. It's in my brain now.
One of the songs
right.
that I made in one of those wacky moments is now a family song, and its title is called "Garfield Smells Like Butt."
Which is your cat.
Garfield is our oldest cat. Yes, so Garfield smells like butt.
What a classic and deep song. Hey, boxers or briefs?
Boxers. Well,
okay.
well-
What are the ones that are?
boxer briefs.
Yeah, but I guess boxer briefs, right? Like,
Okay,
they're
I figured that was the answer, but I purposely didn't leave it on because I am also a boxer brief guy. All right,
Because the thing is, I love the freedom of boxing. No, we're not moving on. You have to know more about my. I love the freedom of boxers, but sometimes you just don't want the fruit hanging off the tree. You need to have a little bit of like.
oh, not
you know,
sometimes, all the time, man. They need that support.
Sometimes you need to keep it close for
Yeah.
protection, security.
Agreed.
all right, we're almost done here. We're gonna ask a deep one, and then we're gonna get a little weird. Would you rather live another 100 years, not like aging, like you basically maintain how you are for another 100 years, or restart life from the beginning, knowing everything that you know now?
100
Second,
years.
I think about this all the time. Restart.
Restart. Yeah, see,
Wow.
I go back and forth. So the restart option is definitely, I think, the most selfish option because it's just like, well, what about your relationships, your friends, your family? Are they still going to be there? Do you have to find them again? That's if we're getting too deep. Realistically, I think to basically get everything that I have that I like and then be able to push away the things I don't like, the restart sounds the most appealing. But those that are probably the correct answer for those with, families, probably like, no, I want to keep going because having to redo all that would be bad.
So here's my thing. I
Let's
view
go.
life like an RPG. And I have totally specced into the wrong trees, and I'm now at the end game, and I am screwed. Like
I
I
relate to that so hard.
and life, and I can't respec. You can't respec in this RPG. So if I live another 100 years, it's like, well, great. I'm just going to go on another 100 years screwed in the end game. Now, if I can respec and start from the beginning, then maybe I'll put a little bit more into like the STEM skill tree and a little bit less in the video game skill tree. So maybe less like 90s and 2000s rock song, sub tree, and a little bit more financial.
Yeah. Plus, you can invest in Bitcoin before it blows up. Mike, you would definitely go another 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, uh, putting aside the obvious reason why,
Yeah.
I actually would do the 100 years because you restart, you're still not guaranteed to be successful, even if you make all the right decisions. Something that I've learned in entertainment and trying, with Twitch, with this, with anything, it is pure ass luck. It's right time, right place. And yes, you do get another shot at getting those. And yes, you'll be better equipped. But I hate to say it, there are people who stream, there are people who do YouTube videos that blow up that I'm like, why? And I'm not saying I'm great, okay? I'm not saying that we're great. You guys are great. I think you're great. But
Oh,
like these people just were there at the right place at the right time and did the right thing. And a restart doesn't guarantee you that. At least doing the 100 years, you already have the skills that you've gotten so far. So my thought is like, okay, well, I'm pretty good a drummer, right? Maybe another 100 years, maybe I just focus on drumming. I'm already this far forward, right?
But see,
So
your
now I
brain,
can
you
go
reach a
forward.
point. You reach a point in age where
But
your brain no longer likes to learn new instruments
But he
or
said that
skills.
you don't age. He said that you don't. You just
Well, no,
stay
because
right
you're already past that point.
now.
So your brain is already past the point physically of not being able to learn new things. That's what I'm saying. If you start and you have a fresh body again, you don't have these limitations. Like if I want to become a pro wrestler, doesn't matter if I have 100 years. I got a jacked up 35-year-old body, and it's never going to happen, even with 100 years. But if I can start again earlier,
I'm actually okay with my body. I mean, it aches. I get the 38-year-old aches, but I'm fine. I would go 100 years. I think I would.
okay.
I mean, I see merit in both, honestly. But
it's a fun question, and my body's so jacked that I'm more inclined for the respec issue. I'm like, wait, I can just not eat gluten at an earlier age, and I wouldn't have all these like forever impacts that I
problems.
currently have. Like, I could solve a lot of my physical ailments if I got a respec. All right. Here's probably the last awkward question that I have. Then we'll move on to like the final two. What is the most physically uncomfortable you have been during a full working day? A day where you worked an entire shift and you felt the most physically uncomfortable. I definitely got an answer. Do you guys have an answer hot and ready for me?
I do, Scott.
Yeah.
But you go for it.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. So I used to work at Target, and I was when my first year there, I was one of the two guys that unloaded the truck. So like thousands of cases like every morning. And so one time I just grab a box, and you're supposed to go. Don't look at what you're grabbing, just grab the box, put it on the line, push it. Some time during transit, it was like full of like, no, it wasn't even Prego. It was like hot sauce. And one of the cases of hot sauce broke in there, got the entire box soggy. And as soon as I lifted it up and got it like midair, the bomb gave out. And there's hot sauce all over my pants. And I was just like, pants soaked in hot sauce. And I didn't want to go and spend money to get new pants. I tried washing some of it out, but I just had like hot sauce soaked pants. And I asked to go, I'm like, can I go home early? No, we're behind. We already have 5 call outs, but I have hot sauce in my pants. No, get back to work. And when you start off, it's 4 a.m., so nobody's in the store. But I had to work a full shift, and the store opens up at 8. So I worked 4 hours walking around the store with just hot sauce staining my pants, reeking of hot sauce, and it's starting to burn my legs. I don't even know why I stayed there and kept working. But yeah, working a whole day, like basically like 7 hours, just covered in hot sauce. That was terrible.
Mike, what do you got?
All right. I'm going to get judged, but I don't care because I know this happens to the best of us. So
mine's going to be pretty bad too. So let's see what happens.
So here, my very first job at a True Value was really good. I loved that job. I really did. But one day, I don't know what was going on with my stomach, but I had gas. Bad gas. And I just kept going to the corner. I'd always just like go to the corner of the store where nobody was. And be like,
went to the poop corner.
Yeah, like I would just like kind of round the corner and be like, and like take off. And then at one point, when you fart enough, you just kind of like, okay, you guys will appreciate this. The older you get, you question every fart. You don't just do it, okay? And there's a reason for that. So I'm not questioning my fart. I'm just like, okay. And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So I still had a full day. I had gotten in at like 9. Oh, man. And then all of a sudden, I got a little bit more than I bargained for. Little bit more. I stopped it. Like, aye. But the damage was done. And this was during my phase where I wore boxers. Just straight old boxers. And I was like, ooh, I feel it, and like any sane person, I go back to the bathroom and, I go to the bathroom and clean myself up, right? That's not what was uncomfortable. It had gotten on my boxers and it got cold and it was still wet. And all day long, so see, the problem is that my options were take off my boxers and wear no underwear with jeans. I ain't putting my junk near that zipper, those deathlock teeth. Or deal with a little sharp boxers. Needless to say, I burned the hell out of those things. I got rid of those things immediately. All day long, I probably looked like I was like a goose, like walking around.
Walking a little funny?
Yeah, it was like my neck like wasn't really moving, but the rest of my body was. That was awful. It was awful.
Mike, of all the things you've said tonight, that's the one where like, all right, respect, Peg. Boom. Like it did go down a tad from that story. I'm sorry, Mike. I still love you. I still love you like a brother, but hey, I can't unhear that one.
If that brings it down, I mean, we could always bring up some other shart stories that we've all discussed before.
I marked off many questions to skip just for the sake of time, one of which was ask about sharts. So I'm glad we got that one regardless. Mine was what, Mike, gross. Mine was it was like my first job out of high school. I was working in a warehouse, and I'm sorry everybody for this. I manscaped for the first time. For the very first time, and I did it so poorly. It was itchy. It itched so bad the entire day. Scott, I know you did this to yourself at some point. I know.
There's a term for this. Actually, more of like the next day. You know what it's called the next day?
Please tell me.
The prickly pear.
Oh, no. Okay, we're learning too much here, but yeah, that's what happened. And I worked in a warehouse. I was moving back and forth and things were moving. It was the most physically uncomfortable I've ever been working anything in my life. I would go, instead of Mike in his fart corner, I'd go to my scratch corner. I go in the corner and kind of like do the pocket scratch just to kind of like, oh gosh, please stop hurting so bad. That sucked. Okay, 2 more questions now that we're done talking about pairs. This is for our Canadians. This is us to answer a question because Canadians love us. Where would you move if you had to go anywhere in Canada?
Vancouver, British Columbia.
Which you've been to before.
I've been to. It was great. Like, I've actually traveled a lot. Not necessarily the world, but like the United States. been to like most of the major cities, and then I've also been to Vancouver. Canadians, I'm not just trying to pander to you and get you to go and subscribe to me when I stream. I legitimately, Vancouver is a great city. I love it. Even though most of you are in like Alberta, and I guess you kind of hate everywhere else in Canada, but at least it's within your country. So yeah, Vancouver is where I would go to.
Well, I think Vancouver too, because I've heard. I don't know how true this is because I've never been, but it's kind of like the Seattle of
Yeah,
Canada. And as
but
soon
more
as
well thought out.
yeah, as soon as they said that, I went, well, I'm in. That's where I'd go. So
It's a
that,
cleaner, more thought out, better designed Seattle.
yeah. So that's my answer too.
Yeah, I've never been to Seattle, and sorry, my answer or not Seattle. Well, I haven't been to Seattle either, but I've never been to Canada. And my answer is boring. Is the place I've heard the most like cool things about is Vancouver. But I kind of would want to live sort of in the middle of nowhere, but still have access to things. So just for the heck of it, just to pander, I'd go to somewhere in Alberta. You got two hockey teams there. That might be fun. There we go. That's for you Albertans that listen to this. I would come hang out with you in Alberta. Last question before we wrap things up. Why should people like and subscribe and follow us?
Because we're great. We talk about sharding ourselves and posing in front of the mirror naked and having naked friends drop on us as they're trying to fart in our face. Who else has such low standards online to share stories like that than us? No one. Name him. You can't because they don't exist. That's why you should like and subscribe.
Mike,
I
what do you
can't
got?
say it any better than that, man. Where have you? Let me ask you this. I'll answer your question with the question: are you not entertained?
I'm entertained. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna conclude this one that Scott and Mike had nothing to do. I want Scott, will you wrap up this conversation before we move into our final moments of our little podcast today?
I'll be more than glad to wrap it up. This has been really weird ass questions with Matt. Maybe one day we will return the favor to him. Notice how, well, actually, he was a good sport and he still answered some of these questions too. But I feel like a couple of them he set us up on. So you'll get yours, Matt. We'll give you your receipt. But I personally love this topic. One, it was fun. Two, I didn't have to do any prep work for it all. And you may be all like, Scott, you actually do prep work for these things? I at least do a little bit, not nearly as much as these other two guys. But it's been fun. Hopefully, you learned a little bit more about us tonight and haven't lost too much respect for us. So, yes, with that said, very fun. I'm sure Mike will agree. But now it's time for our new favorite segment of the season. Oh, wait, never mind. Brand promotion first. Scratch that. Mike.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, that is my favorite. Well, yes, that's my favorite section.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, this is our favorite section. And it should be your favorite section too. This should be your favorite segment. This is where you hit that like button. What do they say? Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe. No, we're not those guys. Sorry. You should like this though. You should subscribe. You should get those notifications because this channel offers so much awesome stuff, including short stories, naked choking. I mean, the list goes on and on. You can't get that anywhere else, like Scott said. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Say, hey, there's this podcast. I think you should watch it. Or at the very least, you should go ask them some questions because they'll answer your crazy questions. And as you have gotten tonight, we don't hold back. We tell the truth. So you get what you get. Also, we are on other platforms too. Scott will eventually make his way to streaming. That's Hero Omega Man X, SM Steven Streams, or Scotty Portapotty. Eventually, maybe you should go harass him so that he gets there sooner, right?
Yeah.
Then we've got Celiac_Matt over here, who streams on Twitch Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, I believe, and then just random other days. Does all sorts of stuff. He just finished Persona 5 Royal, so I'm proud of him for that. He finally did it after like a year plus of streaming. He streamed it all online. I don't know why he did. But he's dedicated, so that's why you should go check him out. And I'm Bauer Tendo. You can catch me on Instagram, the artist formerly known as Twitter, all the things. Twitch, same thing. Stream Mondays and Tuesdays. We're awesome. You should follow us, right? Now, the second favorite part of the podcast that everybody likes. The viewer questions.
I heard you had a question. So many questions. Why don't you ask your question and the buds will bust an answer for you.
Yep.
So, tonight, did we decide on
It's in
the Mac?
a Mac.
Okay, thank you, because I'm looking at the actual question here. There we go. So this is from the Mac. Oh wait, sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. It's the Mac. That's what it is. Okay, all caps. The Mac. Is there any opinion that you expressed? Oh man, Scott's going first. Is there any opinion that you expressed in previous episodes that you wish you could take back?
Okay, so I actually have to go last for a very important reason. So
All right. I'll jump in.
Sorry.
I don't remember what I ate for breakfast most days, so I can't really remember an opinion I had that I take back. There are some things I wish I phrased differently. Like, I think the most viral TikTok out of this that Mike did was me crapping on Halo. I wish I had phrased it a little bit differently because I read some of those comments. I'm like, all right, yeah, I could have said that a
Dude,
little bit better.
They were not happy with you.
They didn't like that. I did not like Halo 2 Online very much. But TikTok has also recently they don't watch the whole thing. So maybe they just saw man mad at Halo and just went off on me. But I wish I could have phrased it a little bit differently as to why I did like Halo. So TikTok wouldn't get mad at me, apparently. So that's mine.
I'm trying to think of one, man. I
You can
really
just
like.
say,
I'm
just say none. Just say I'm perfect in every way.
Yep, truth to power. That's all you do. Speak it.
Yeah, I mean I really, everything that I've said, I mean. I really do.
All right.
I was trying to be nice to I was thinking well, do I really hate the Horizon series that much? Like, do I really? And I'm like, no, I ain't walking that shit back. Sorry. I ain't doing it. So no, I can't really think it. Maybe when Scott goes, it'll trigger something. I go, oh yeah, that thing. But no, I'm good.
Okay. As for me, I may seem like the person most ripe to have regrets with the Scott Porta Potty series, and I will tell you right now, not at all. Everything I said has been 100% correct. Outside of that, I don't know. I guess the obvious one is Fortnite, but I do have a secret for you guys. Guys, do you want to know my secret?
I want to know your secret.
I'm the Mac. Dun dun dun. Why does Mac get to be the one that asks all the questions tonight? I'm going to ask a question too. Ha ha! And I pulled one over on you all.
That makes
Anyway,
so much more
thank you.
sense about our Discord chat. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
Scott is really pushing for this one, but I'm fine. Sure, whatever, man.
I was just trying to be nice. I was asking, does someone know who this is? And then Scott was just like, oh, they were connected to me. I was like, all right, cool. Someone's talking to
didn't
Scott.
lie.
Let's go with it. It
I
was
didn't
Scott
lie.
all along. The Mac, more like the douchebag. How dare you? I still love you. That was good.
That got me. That was
All
good.
right, so Scott got us ask his question, but I'm actually going to get the last thing said here. I will ask the last question. Me, Scott, do you have a rant for us?
Oh, do I have a rant for you?
Look over there, he just doesn't care. He's going off on a crowd of people, throwing words in the air like he just don't care. He's yelling at all of us sheeple. It's a Scotty Porta Potty rant. It's a Scotty Porta Potty rant. It's a Scotty Porta Potty rant. It's rant time.
Let me tell you something, potty maniacs. You know what really gets me and my gears grinding? Fun size stuff. Like, what type of asshole marketing person said to himself, let's get this thing and make it smaller, but what do we call it? The smaller version? No, people aren't going to like that. What do people like? They like fun. The fun size. Guys, have you ever had something really small, way smaller than the usual version of it? And like, this is fun. I'm having a way better time with this now that it's smaller. This is the fun size of it. It's a stupid fucking name. It's like makes no sense. Do you drive in a little small clown car? Like, this is my fun size car. Do you fly in an airplane? Oh, I don't want these economy seats. I want the fun size seats, the ones I'm cramped in. What context is making something smaller fun? It makes no freaking sense. And I hate you. I'm looking at you, Candy. You can just say this is the smaller size so a fat ass like you doesn't get fatter. Give me the truth. Don't sugarcoat it. Well, sugarcoat it because it's candy. But you know what I mean. I hate it. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Fantastic, Scott. Wow, that's it. We're done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed me asking a bunch of stupid questions and Scott sneaking in a question in there, you monster. You guys are welcome to ask us questions. We got a forum for you to click on. That was a lot of fun. I guess we'll just catch you next week. I got nothing else to say, my dudes. Thanks for watching. You should come say hi to us on Twitch, Discord, all that stuff. Bye.